Ramesh sir, who's today's...
Shantana Priya will start, ma'am. Shantana Priya and
Yes,
Ashwini will just start, ma'am.
Program on intellectual property rights and IP management for startups, organized by the Department of Electronics and Communication, St. Joseph's Institute of Technology, Chennai, in association with Institution Innovation Council. A respect and gratitude to our chairman, Dr. V. Babu Manoharan sir, a managing director, ma'am, Mrs. B. Jessie Priya, director, sir, Mr. V. Sasi Shekhar, a respected principal, Dr. P. Ravichandran sir, who has always been a great source of inspiration for us in conduction of this program. On this pleasant day, we would like to cordially welcome Mr. Vivek Daya, Director of Modic Ventures Private Limited, as our honorable speaker. We welcome you, sir. It's our pleasure to welcome the head of the department, Dr. Sinyana Kausalya ma'am, Staff and Student Affairs, and Dr. G. Rohini ma'am, Lab Affairs, who are the consistent support to us all. We welcome you, ma'am. Last but not the least, I welcome the powerful innovators gathered here for this session. Now, I request Harshini from second year EC to take the honor of introducing the orator.
Thank you, Priya. I take of today's speaker. Mr. Vivek Daya is an innovator and engineer, a patent agent and advocate and a strategist. He is the co-founder and director of Modic Ventures Private Limited, India. He is an active member of Asian Patent Attorneys Association India Group and has been working closely with aggregators and accelerators in Australia, New Zealand and Singapore and helping his Indian clients in providing access to the global market as well as the investors. He is also a member of Indian National Bar Association. He is a well-trained patentability and patent prosecution with over a decade of experience in intellectual properties and innovation domain. He assisted many innovators, creators, entrepreneurs, and institutions and incubation centers in revolving around innovation, executing the strategies and monetizing innovation with focused marketing plans. It's an immense pleasure to have you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Harshini. Before moving on to the session, a few instructions to the participants. Requesting the participants to be in mute throughout the session. Kindly type the queries in the chat box, which will be answered at the end of the session. The feedback link will be posted in the chat box at the end of the session, and I request all the participants to fill it for e-certificate. I now invite our speaker to kindly begin the session.
Thanks. Thank you, both of you, for setting the note. And I will now share my screen. And as you know, like in Google Meet, when I share my screen, I will not be able to see chats and not able to see you on the platform. And if you are not able to hear me correctly or there is an issue in the delivery of the presentation, please apprise me by unmuting. Okay, I'm just sharing my screen now.
So screen is visible. Make it with this full screen, sir.
Yeah, I'm just doing it.
Sir is doing.
Yeah, it's happening. Sometimes Google Meet is a bit slow. Yeah. So I think it is full screen. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I think most of you know about Modic Ventures. So Modic Ventures has realized the potential of intellectual property into business. So you must have been since it's a 3-day workshop, you must be going through a lot of sessions where you have been taught about intellectual property. However, we see intellectual property as a business tool. It's not at all a legal formality. And it is a founding, pointer for a startup. Since we are talking about startups here, it's a starting stone for any startup to look into. And that's why, like, our tagline is here: we're trying to create sustainable economy by assisting stakeholders in using IP as business tool. And I have mentioned that in an email also before, but all the students who are running a startup, right, or who are thinking of starting a startup, they can log in or sign up on this particular website, which is mentioned, Startups Go Dutch. I will tell you, more about Startups Go Dutch at the end of the presentation. But if you really interested in collaborations, growing together, interacting with your, peer startups, this is the best platform. And since you are attending this platform, you will be given the code F50 to get the first year subscription without any cost, which was around AUD $100, which is around 56,000 rupees. So I will just move on with my presentation. So we are talking about startups valuation basics, right? And we are talking about how to build the capacity. First of all, coming to the whiteboard, what we are looking for. Like, you are studying in a college, you're starting a startup, you're studying in a job, you're doing a job, right? You're thinking of doing anything. Today, for example, I'm doing a thing that I'm trying to share my knowledge. And what is my objective is to achieve success, means positive results. So parameters for me to get a success from this presentation: at least one or two students or group of students start their own startup and allow me to work with them to take them to a next level. So that is my success parameter. But how am I going to achieve it? Agile. I have to be agile. For example, if I get encountered with any question, coming to the business, you have to be agile. You have to be very, quick. You have to be very, very quick in taking decisions and doing things. Your strategy. So what is my strategy? To apprise you all the benefits in 1 hour. That is my strategy, to provide you most of the information, like my 14 years of experience, combining that in 1 hour. That's my strategy for understanding. So I have understood who are my audience. Similarly, when I was doing a startup, you have to understand the things. Maybe your customer, your vendor, maybe your user, maybe your colleagues, your co-founder, and focus. You have to have a focus. Say, for example, like people, when they start, right, they have one particular thing. And then when they start doing it, they say, no, we will also do this, we will also do this. No. Get one thing done, then start another thing. For example, how Flipkart started. They started selling books. When they get the competency, they get the expertise on selling the books online, then they started with other products. So the focus is really important. Acceptance of failure. Many of the startups, like you read Twitter history, Angry Bird history, you have to accept the failure and then work towards correcting it. Then you have to be very dynamic in working on, you have to be very dynamic in any kind of thing, in your decision making, in your work, in your, in your strategies, in your offerings, and everything. Last but not the least, know your customer. I know my audience today. So do you know your customer? This implies to all the students and professors in the institutes, in the universities, when they file a patent application. I'm going a bit off the topic, but when you file a patent application, like ask this question, we can interact at the later stage. Whenever you file patent application, you had filed, many of you must have filed patent application. Did you prepare a strategy, or did any customer was in your mind that this is the company who will take a license of my patent? This is the person whom I can sell my patent. This is how I'm going to commercialize. This question we can interact at a later stage, but If this is the case, 99% chances are there that your patent can be commercialized within 1 year from filing it. So knowing your customer is very important. And a service is not a product. If, for example, I will give you iPhone 10 and you don't have a service center in India, will you buy it? No. Similarly, what happened with like Oppo phones, right? They were not doing well until they started with service centers. So whatever your product is, you need to provide good services. And one thing which is common in all those things, that is innovation. You will get success if you are innovative in your agileness, if you are innovative in understanding, you're innovative in strategy, you're innovative in keeping focus, you're innovating in accepting the failure, you're innovative in your dynamism, you're innovative in knowing your customer. So maybe you can forget these other, circles at once, but don't forget innovation. That is the key. You have to be very innovative. Now, let's take an example of all these things which I have talked about. So this is a company, Ways Ahead Global. You can also Google it, right? And they have formed a company in 2017. And they were pretty good in data science, data analytics, but they were clueless what to do next. How to, make a strategy, how to get this success. And their success in 2017, the founder's dream was that he wants to set up a company in Singapore. One of the target. So in 2018, they came in touch with us, and they came us with a whiteboard that we want to create a strategy. We want to innovate. We want to disrupt the market, and we want to create a strategy from it. So we have partnered with them, right? We have equity in this company, and then first of all, we discuss about failures. What was stopping them? Then we prepare a strategy. Strategy mentioned in 2019 that was worked around. We filed trademark. We filed patent application for video analytics, right? They got then after filing a patent application, they got recognized with Microsoft for Silver Partner. They have strategic partnership with Bosch. So first of all, they have strengthened their back by using IP, by using partnerships, collaborations, and by having a good team, strategic team with them. And in 2020, they come up with another innovation. Remember, 2017 to 2019, they have built up the expertise in video analytics and data sciences. From understanding of that video analytics, they have created a product called Beshko. What is Beshko? You can Google it. And there is a soft skill assessment. For example, each one of us requires soft skills to clear interviews, clear investor pitch, any kind of communication. This particular software, you record a video and answer few questions, which is mentioned on when you log in, you will get these questions. Record that video from your normal phone. Send that video on this platform, upload. Within one day, 24 hours, you will get a report of 8 pages where your expressions, your dialect, your everything has been analyzed based on 70 to 90 parameters by an algorithm, not a human. So algorithm will not be biased, will not have any third thinking. It's an algorithm. So, and they have been giving in the course based on your report. So if any of you want to try it, let me know. I can get you, cost basis. So this Beshko is innovation. Then we became dynamic. We approached universities. They have already have a tie-up with the Manipal University in UAE, and now they are doing in India. With the video analytics and data analytics, they get a lot of projects in smart cities. They are about to start work with UAE government, because now they become dynamic and now their focus is to have multiple verticals to serving multiple industries. Now, in 2021, this month, the dream of the founder has come true. Now, the company is going to have headquarters in Singapore. They will have operation UAE, India, Bangladesh, and Australia. Of course, in Singapore as well. So, know your customers. In 2021, we have known our customers. Who are customers? Construction company, universities, training institutes. So these are all our customers. And then the company started working. Now, coming to the valuation. In 2017, the valuation was nothing. Now, this company has a valuation of at least $4 to $5 million. Now, are they looking for funding? No, because with this roadmap, they have developed a strong backbone that they can do away with without funding for next 1 year. And they are scaling. A bootstrap startup without funding are now having presence in 5 countries. This can happen. Don't start a startup just to get funding. Start a startup to disrupt the market. Start a startup to do something. Funding may or may not require. This is the first example. So I'm trying to stick to the topic: capacity building and valuation. And stop me if I'm doing if it's too fast. If you're not able to understand, please unmute and give me a question. This is another company, and a company based in Noida. So we were introduced to this company by their investor, and we had a discussion with the founder. Founder was working on very good products, right? They are into cleaning of solar panels, industrial solar panels. Now they are getting into home as well. And they were clueless that how they can use intellectual property to increase their business. And at that time, they were looking for funding. They are very they were having cash crunch. So I met them in 2019 in August. We immediately realized there's a good potential of filing patent, which can be used for business purpose. We filed 3 patent applications. One of them got granted within 11 months. So 2 are still pending. After filing 3 patent applications, just observe the dates. In October 2019, we filed 3 patent applications. In January 2020, they got funded. And after 11 months, in 2020 only, when they got the patent, their valuation has increased many folds. So how valuation works? Valuation is not just the revenue, the top line. Revenue is to building assets. So intellectual property is your asset, it's not liability, and it is sellable asset. Google bought Motorola just for the patent portfolio. And there are a number of companies, big companies, who are looking for, 3 to 5 year, 6-year-old companies who have a good patent portfolio, and they're acquiring them. So instead of focusing blindly on, user revenue top line, if you focus on building assets in the company and go slow, you will get funding. You may not get funding. Your valuation will increase, and you have an asset in the company. So this is an example how quickly this intellectual property can help you to get funding and increase in valuation. This is gray orange. Student example, I always say that. This company was, started in 2011, founded in 2011 by 2 college students. And the thing is that they went for a training in a warehouse. They saw a problem. They came back. They saw a problem in the industry. They came back, developed a solution, filed a patent application, and went to the same warehouse to sell the product. Remember my words, which I mentioned earlier, professors and students. If they focus on a customer before they file a patent application, the chances of commercialization are very high. So what they did, they zeroed down on a problem, means focus, got the customer. They realized that their customer needs something. They came to the labs, developed a patentable solution, and went to the same person. Sold the product. Of course, as a professor, as a student, you don't want to start a company, don't start. Give license or sell the patent to them. But your customer should be clear before you start working on the patent application. And don't file patent applications on your own for a number of reasons, but don't do it yourself. And now this company stands today with the last deal amount was $35.3 million, 19 investors, 669 employees in 10 years. Patent portfolio. For a company, for a startup, it's not just one patent. It's a continuous filing of patent application. And in various jurisdictions where you see a market. Don't file patent applications blindly. If you have a market, then file patent application. If you don't have a market, don't waste money on patent. Because at the end, it will add up to your frustration. Because you have invested money, you have invested efforts, you have invested all the time of yours, and the result you got is nothing, zero. So with this example, students can start a company. How? Look for an industrial problem which is in need. File a patent application. Go back to the industries. Sell your product. And then you will start getting. See, they got funding in 1st Jan 2012. First funding, first early stage VC. And they kept filing patent application. So this is a good example for students. Now, how they built up capacity? By filing one patent application, going slow. For first 4 years, they were only relying on 1 or 2 patent applications. When they got funded, they had more teams. They are in 5 countries now. Now they are filing more. So you have to keep building assets as per the needs. And valuation will increase on its own. Now, this is, don't take it as a thumb rule. I, being an investor, this is how I score a company and their valuation. Product. First of all, product. Is it innovative? There's any IP protection, value proposition. Let's go briefly all the 3 examples I have taken. Innovation. Ways ahead. Innovative? Yes. Skill answer. Solar. Innovative? Yes. Very orange. Innovative? Yes. IP protection. All 3 of excuse me. All 3 of them have filed patent applications. Value proposition. Yes. Because they know customer. Why a customer is buying. Why will customer will buy from you? Has to be a value proposition. And that's why they are successful. Coming to the market. Market receptiveness. So, how the innovation happened, like in ways ahead, this video analytics, why they jumped into video analytics? Because when they were doing this, problem finding, they got to know that in cinemas, right, it is really important to observe the expressions of your customer, facial expressions. Because, for example, after this session, there is a feedback form will be given to you, and you will fill that form. That feedback may not be the real feedback, because that is coming from your mind. And the real feedback, when you're observing or listening to someone, is face to face. Facial expressions is the best feedback of any kind of talks. As well, like ma'am was mentioning about in-person meeting. That is why in-person meeting is really important. For example, I'm speaking to I think there are around 30, 40 people. I cannot see any of you. I'm only seeing my screen, my presentation, which I'm doing. How would I know that, yes, people are showing interest or people are not showing interest? That's why that video analytics came in. So market receptiveness was there? Yes. Skill answers solar. Solar panels had been made mandatory for large industrial, establishments. The problem came with industrial solar panels is, yes, you are getting subsidy for installation of those things, but you are not getting subsidy to clean them. If you don't clean solar panel, we all are engineers. I'm also electronics engineer and telecom. So I know if I don't clean the solar panel, that's a useless piece. So market acceptance was there for skill answer solar. Gray orange, they know because they have worked in that warehouse. So market receptiveness, then target is willing and who is facing a problem is your target customer. Industry attractiveness, sustainable advantage. How you will get sustainable advantage? Your production cost, your logistic cost, your delivery cost, installation cost, all are very, very minimal, or comes within the price crunch of the customer. So how you will work on it? You know your customer now, you know your innovation now, you know how your product is being manufactured. So based on these things, you can develop some kind of algorithm or some kind of formula. Industry attractiveness, yes. How it will be attractive to the industry? Because you're working with a particular target market customer. If you know that there are other people of similar thing, you can sell that. That is industry attractiveness. People, very, very important. Personal aspiration. For example, is very important. Personal aspiration. For example, if a founder, I receive a lot of messages on LinkedIn and email also. I have $1 billion idea and I'm looking for your funding. Why should I fund you? You have $1 billion idea. It's your idea. Why should I fund you? Never, never ask for funding. No investor will give you funds to give you salaries. Investor wants to make money out of it. Showcase what is your product. What is your expertise in the product? Why your product is unique? Social capital. How many people know you? What is your network? How you can, for example, right? You even if you have a good product, do you have a network? come join on our platform. Even in one e-cell, which is my observation, in the university or a college, there are 10 or 15 startups. But they don't know about each other. So if you have a platform where you can join and know about each other plus global startups. We are bringing startups from Australia also on it. And then you can interact with them. Maybe some investor will help you to jump the queue 99%. That investor will hear you for sure because you have been just my mic because of my height and all. At that time, like before COVID, nobody was bothered about it. But now after COVID, will let us the microphone when this physical meetings will start. No? I need a solution to this problem. So this is the solution. Very small. This is my idea. I am the innovator and applicant of all these applications. We used an algorithm, sensors, and motors. Seems look very, very normal innovation. But don't ignore even a small innovation that can make a big business out of it. So file patent application, do market survey, and target customer. So who is my target customer here? Universities. Maybe I'm wrong, but I will just share my thoughts. I will give this my one microphone exclusively, one microphone only for one campus, one industry only. But why? Because this microphone will inspire students on the first day of their college when you have your introduction or orientation. This is small innovation. This innovation can make a big business. Why can't a person who is starting first year can think of similar solution or look for a problem which has a similar small solution, file a patent and can make a business out of it? In a batch, if 1,000 people are coming, and if 10 people are able to start a business, imagine they will generate a lot of employment. So that's why source of inspiration will go with this microphone in that podium, in that conference room. Now, this is in making. So since I'm developing this in Australia, and this is, this is happening. This is not on paper, right? But I filed patent application when this was on paper. Don't stop yourself from filing patent application if you don't have a prototype. File patent application. But file with strategy. Don't file blindly. Okay? I try to keep it very, very crisp. And this is my details. Anybody want to connect with me, and I think we have good 20 minutes to have Q&A and on all ears. Thank you, and I hope I did justice to everyone's time.
Santanapriya or Harshini?
Thank you, sir, for the wonderful session. Now let's move on towards the question and answer session. Shall we, sir?
Yeah, please.
Sir, for the first question, what are the basic requirements to start any company, sir?
Okay. First of all, First of all, the first requirement is thought. What problem are you solving? I'm not going into the legal thing. What problem? You should have a document done, the market that you're targeting, the problem that you're targeting, who will be your taker of your solution, and then you can go for company registration, GST, PAN card. They are formalities. First of all, the main things are market, customer, solution, and founding team.
Second question. How do we frame strategies for starting a business?
Okay. So let's take an example of microphone. Strategy is, first of all, problem. Let's take an example of let's take an example of microphone. I want to start a business of this product manufacturing company. My first strategy was, am I really after a genuine problem? I did a research which is genuine. Then look for the customer. Who will buy it? Universities can buy it. Conference rooms can buy it. Yes. At what price? So if I sell this microphone at the cost of 5,000 rupees, selling price, not the cost, production cost, people will buy it because it's one unique kind of microphone. So this is a strategy that you can follow. Problem, solution, customer, by doing surveys, questionnaires, and first of all, you also should become your customer first. Try to sell things to yourself first.
Third question. The question while starting a partnership firm, what are the rules and regulations we should follow?
Okay, so starting in partnership. Okay, so if you are starting a partnership, you should have an agreement in place, and you should have roles and responsibilities clearly docketed in that agreement. And every partner should follow that commitments and the terms. So, of course, then you can register an LLP, partnership firm, with those roles and responsibilities. That is really important.
Last question. How to improvise novelty in technical concepts?
Okay. So, for example, novelty, you have to do a lot of research on the patent databases. Because whenever you start an idea, for example, like you say, I want to file a patent on a particular idea, and you want to file something, you found something similar. So how you will improvise? You have to see the patent databases, whether that particular idea is existing or not. If it's existing, then read those patent applications which are talking about similar concept, and then read those documents and see where is the lacuna is, and then target that lacuna to improvise the novelty.
Thank you, sir. Question and session. Priya?
Thank you, sir. Now it's time to express our gratitude. On behalf of Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering, St. Joseph's Institute of Technology, St. Joseph's Group of Institutions, I thank our speaker for sharing his enthralling experience. Thank you for taking out time from your busy schedule and joining us to share your knowledge. Thank you, sir. I would like to thank our management for giving us this opportunity to organize this webinar. I thank our department heads and all the other faculties for organizing this event successfully. And finally, my sincere thanks to all the participants for your active participation and support. Thank you all. Kindly fill the feedback form.
Yeah, thank you everyone.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Accepting our invitation and joining with us is really...
And keep bothering me if you have further questions. You can email me.
Yes, sir. Sure. Participants, faculties, do you have any questions to ask, sir?
Participants, if you have any queries, you can unmute and speak.
So how many of you are working on a startup idea?
Sir, rather before this pandemic, one or two students were working. We could identify that, but now we are finding it difficult slightly. This is situation, because of the situation, we are finding it difficult to identify that. But one or two students are working, but our alumni, some of them have already started.
Okay.
Ma'am,
Yes.
one participant has raised hand.
Yes.
Subiksha?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any queries, ma?